listeners, to another interesting conversation on the AIBiz podcast. I'm your host, Sana, and today we are diving into a topic that's reshaping the way businesses operate at their core. How AI is transforming bookkeeping and financial operations. And joining me is Austin McMillan, the founder of Flywheel Financial. Now, let me share a bit about Austin with all of you before we begin into the conversation. Austin has an incredible background as a former Wall Street trader who now helps small businesses scale profitably by aligning people, processes, and purpose. And he's also known for optimizing teams using tools like Enneagram and Working Genius. But lately, he has been leading the charge on leveraging AI as to streamline systems and also unlock human potential. So, today on this episode of AI Biz, we are going to dig into how Austin and his team are actually using AI, not the hype, but the practical day to day to transform bookkeeping. And we'll explore how these changes they ripple through the business as a whole. So, get ready for an honest, grounded conversation about what's really working, what isn't, and where this all might lead. So, with that, Austin, welcome to the show, and I'm really excited to have you back with us.
Awesome, Sona. Thanks so much. I'm fired up to be here today.
Brilliant. Yeah. So, Austin, let's jump right into the topic. So, talking about bookkeeping. Bookkeeping. It is isn't exactly known as the most exciting part of running a business. Um, so, what what made you start experimenting with AI tools in this space at Flywheel Financial?
Yeah, I love it, Sona. So you drilled it on the head. Bookkeeping is typically not the most exciting side of business, and the whole reason we even created Flywheel Financial was really to serve business owners in a way of something that has to be done in their business, but that most business owners hate, right? When you think about people that get into business, they typically don't think about the back end office work and invoicing and the bill pay and everything that it takes to run the admin and accounting side of their business. So we handle all of that stuff for them so they can stay in their sweet spot through growth, for hiring the team, continuing to grow sales, all the things that they originally got in business to go do. So, yeah, in the world of accounting, if you think about really anything that's ripe for the picking for AI. It's really, at least right now in 2025, it's things that are repetitive, like task driven things that kind of happen consistently over time, things that can be automated in that process. And so, really, bookkeeping is kind of in that world, right? If you think about producing financials every single month for a company and all the bank reconciliations and everything that it takes to accurately produce a scoreboard for a business, which is the financials of that business,
Mm.
it's very repetitive tasks, right? And so we have really dove into the deep end to try to experiment and explore what at this point in time can AI do for us that we're currently using labor to go do, and what can't it do yet. And I love saying the word yet because we are very much at the tip of the iceberg in this whole AI world where it's just going to continue to learn and get better and improve its capabilities, month over month over month, so that
Mm.
it's able to handle more and more and more of things that we're still paying, people labor to go do. And so, yeah, I'm happy to dive into any of the details of exactly how we're using it, but we basically just decided as a firm that this is
Mm.
something we're going to stay on the forefront of so that we can always bring people on the team to higher levels of activity that are even more valuable to the client. And they're not spending their time doing repetitive tasks that a machine could ultimately do. They're spending their time doing the analysis and the relationship building that ultimately helps people improve their businesses rather than just click a bunch of buttons to get books out the door.
Mm. Yeah, that really makes sense. And I think it really provides that much needed convenience as well. Because yeah, let's face the reality that it's definitely a very um tricky task, especially when it comes to bookkeeping and handling the back end finances and stuff. And Austin, one thing in the intro which really struck me is you believe you are a strong advocate for aligning people, processes, and purpose. Now, lately, AI is something that is now becoming more of um, a kind of contradiction, or kind of in a negative sense when it comes to humans and people. So how does AI fit into this equation without making it feel like you are automating away the human element?
Yeah, it's a great question, and it is very a point of tension for a lot of people. And I think just like anything that's from a technology standpoint that's introduced new into the world, whether it was the internet, back in the '90s, or the iPhone come along in the mid 2000s, or what we're facing now. Yeah, I want to partner in life with people that are growth minded. And so when you're growth minded, you just learn to adapt and grow to the things that you can now leverage technology to make your life better, versus people that are not growth minded. They kind of sit in, I don't want change to happen. I want to do the same thing over and over again, no matter if I'm growing or not. And those are the people that I tend to see that are like scared of the new focus of AI. And
Mhm.
so I've just made a decision that we're just going to build a team full of growth minded individuals that are excited about the new venture of introducing AI into their world. Because if you think about each of our own roles and responsibilities inside of the company,
Hmm.
all of us are doing things right now that we potentially hate. And if we need to either delegate or automate those things, AI is a great starting place to then come in and say, how can it be doing things that I don't enjoy, but it's still part of my responsibility for my job? So then I can alleviate those things off of my calendar and now go do things that are higher level problem solving things that add even more value and ultimately allow me to make even more money because I now have gotten things that a machine can do off of my plate that I'm not spending that time to go do. And so there's always going to be this, you know, tension of what AI can do and what AI can't do based off of what humans are currently doing. But there's a level that AI will never be able to cross that has a human element to it. And the focus for me as we build the team is to say, like, let's keep you in your unique ability that is the human focus and not stay in this world of I'm just clicking buttons or doing things that a
Mhm.
machine either could do now or will potentially do to get you back in your sweet spot. So it's an ongoing conversation. Things change all the time. And so we just want to stay in a group of people that are growth minded and are excited for the future.
Totally, totally. Yep. Yeah. And it's really, really interesting. Because you know as it's kind of it's in the mainstream that AI will replace jobs, and that too especially in operational roles like bookkeeping. But I can imagine you have had to reassure your team and clients about this shift.
Yeah, absolutely. And so we have conversations about it every week, and we have a dedicated meeting associated with it every month of saying, what are you currently doing now to leverage AI in your position right now? Like the thing that we hired you to go do, how are you leveraging AI? And are you able to get out of the thing that you're currently doing because AI is helping you with it? And now you can do more, which means you have more responsibility, you have more incentive, you have more pay potentially because you're doing more things with the same person versus us having to hire more people to do the same amount of work. And so we try to incentivize, the team so it's like it's rewarded financially, but it's also rewarded purposely, right? You think about things that people do on a day-to-day basis, and if somebody wants to just pass the time and click buttons and do things that a machine could do,
Yeah.
then they're probably not feeling very fulfilled in that role, right? And so we wanna go back to the purpose of it and say, like, what fulfills you? What gets you most excited? And also what's draining you at work? And let's figure out a way to delegate and automate the things that are draining. And if we can leverage AI to do that, we'll definitely do it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, okay, now let's talk about the practical applications,
Yeah.
Austin. What specific AI tools or systems, I mean, if you can share, are
Yeah.
you currently using as a bookkeeper? I mean, if you can give any one or maybe more than one example.
Yeah, for sure. So first and foremost, we do everything inside of QuickBooks Online. And so all of our clients filter through that platform. QuickBooks is right now trying to introduce their own version of like AI models inside of that system. But to tell you the truth, I'll be the first to say this, and I would tell QuickBooks the same thing. They're such a massive company. They're very slow in the adaptation process of introducing AI that's beneficial to the end user inside of that program. And so we've actually just gone all in on ChatGPT operators. And so I think they've actually just converted the name maybe over to advisors, sorry, agents. Maybe it's ChatGPT agents. But basically, it's a subscription with ChatGPT that's not just the free version on your phone, but it's a subscription that allows you to build essentially brains inside of this platform of teaching it things to go do. And the best way I can describe it is it's essentially a macro for the internet. So it can pull up a web browser, dive in, and you, through prompts, can teach it where to click, what to do, what information to pull, where to push that from one platform to another. And
Mhm.
it's just following your lead, almost like a person that you were telling to go do this behind a computer screen. And it's
Mm,
fascinating because you can get and teach this machine to do all types of things that you need to do from a task driven process. So we are a company of standard operating procedures. Like everything we do has a checklist and a procedure behind it. And so
mhm,
we're now saying, okay, the things that we're now paying humans to go do these processes and systems, how could we potentially prompt this operator or this agent inside the chat GPT world to follow that same process and procedure to go do those things for us? So I'll give you a perfect example. We create journal entries a good bit all the time inside of the QuickBooks Online uh, platform for our clients that basically will split income or certain things about how we're producing their books every month to show
mm,
accurate financials. So
yeah.
our team has found out the ability now to say, rather than me manually go in and type in all the individual numbers that I need to create this journal entry for the debits and credits to go do this, I can now automate that information into a spreadsheet or a Google Sheet. And this machine will now read that spreadsheet and then build out that journal entry inside of QuickBooks Online to then do that work for them. And it can do it at mass scale because here's the massive benefit behind it. Not only can you do that on a from a spreadsheet to one QuickBooks account, now you can tell this machine, hey, I want you to do this exact same thing unique to each client based on their own unique spreadsheets that have already been pre-populated and go do this for 60 clients all at the same time. Whereas a human is not capable of doing that, right? A human has to do each one by one. And then once he finishes the first one, he goes to the second one, does it one by one, goes to the third one, does it one by one. Versus now, once you prompt it in the right way, you can tell this thing, go do all 60 right now, all at the same time. And it can do all of that all at the same time, which is just massively more efficient than
Mhm.
if a human was trying to do the exact same work.
Mm, yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, it's just really, sometimes kind of it looks like a magic that you can create multiple projects. You can actually, um, you know, kind of program your own algorithm in there. You can give, the feel, the essence in there as well. um, to make it look like more coming from a human perspective. But then, has there been any moment, Austin, where the AI completely missed something that a human would have caught?
Yep, 100%. And so right now, I think that's the nature of the beast, in my opinion, for this software being so early on in the world that nothing's really perfect. And so we have a whole quality control check that comes
Mhm.
behind everything that we're trying to get these machines to go do because
Mm.
we need to confirm based on a human element to know that this is actually done the way we want it to be done. And so there's still a quality control. So that it's kind of the 80-20 principle, right? We're trying to leverage AI to do 80% of the work, but you're still going to have the 20% of the human element to say, like, was that work done correctly? Just like you would if you were delegating something to somebody else. You have to understand, okay, did they understand the the focus and the results of what we were trying to accomplish? And then that manager or that person would they come in, cross check the work, make sure the quality's still good before we ever deliver it to anybody else. And so there's still an element for sure. And in fact, we have this conversation on our monthly call with our team because it's like,
Mhm.
well, I've tried and tried and tried to get ChatGPT to do this thing, but it still quite can't quite understand exactly what I'm asking it to do. And so therefore, sometimes we just have to pivot and say, okay, we have to leverage it based on its current capabilities of what it can and can't do, and still have the human element come in at the final stages to make sure everything's accurate. So there's definitely an element of that. And I think that's going to be around for a while until we have the ability for maybe, or, we could probably create this now, but you have the quality control check itself based on ChatGPT, right? So we have a different set of quality control metrics that measures the ChatGPT that just completed that task to then say, was it done correctly? Was it not done correctly? What's the reporting mechanism on it? And then basically report that ultimately to a human that's going to cross check that.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's a very it's like you are leveraging both sides of the coin together, and
Yeah.
yeah, and talking more about this, this human AI balance. Now, do you ever worry, Austin, that relying heavily on AI could actually devalue the consulting or the advisory side of your work over time?
No, I think I just continued to look at it as a lever to pull. And so there's going back to my previous point, I think there's always going to be a human element and humans are going to do, business and work with and bond with other humans. And so for us, we're just using it as a tool, just like the internet was a tool for us in the 90s.
Yeah.
And so that's the way I really approach this. I mean, eventually there might become a world where, people are willing to do 100% business with there no one being on the back end of that. But for me, what we're trying to deliver to our clients 100% has the human element, even in the world of accounting where it has the right for the picking to do a lot of stuff automated through machines. Um, we're building it from a high touch standpoint to say the advisory side of what we're trying to build and help people is very much a relational business to go do. So that's kind of our focus to go do that. But one other thing I was going to mention about AI, this is just fascinating. I love it so much. So one wing of it in our business is trying to do tasks that are repetitive. The other wing of it is leveraging it as a brain to help us make decisions. And so we've created what we call the Flywheel Advisor, which is a essentially a brain inside of ChatGPT that's only thinks through the lens of how you tell it to think. And so you upload all of this information that's company based, values based, anything that you really want it to know about your ideal customer and all the things that you're trying to do, the vision that you have for the company, uh, principles that you want it to like think through and try to resolve issues through. And then we use it almost like a business coach where anybody on our team can go to that Flywheel Advisor section of our, ChatGPT platform and just ask it a question. And it will be able to spit back out a condensed version down of thinking through concepts and principles that we've taught it how to think to then answer that question. It's pretty fascinating. So we've given it, certain books that we've really enjoyed reading that we're trying to live by inside of the world of Flywheel and just
Mhm.
give it as much context as possible so that it has the ability to like coach you up based on these principles and concepts that we've taught it to think through. So it's a massive tool. I'm on that every single day, asking it questions, getting it to help me think through like what better ways could I leverage social media,
Mhm.
marketing, sales, conversations. I mean, it's a fascinating tool to lever in that way as well, just from a almost like a part-time second brain for a human to have to really think through or have conversations with to get to the next level in a delivery standpoint.
That's really a good one. That's really a good one. And yes, it definitely, helps in providing a structured guidance or, at least to some level of clarity. And then, of course, it can be then blended with the human aspect. Huh.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah, yeah. And before we wrap up, Austin, uh, do you think? I mean, what kind of future do you see in case of bookkeeping when it comes to AI? Like, what other advancements are you um, predicting or thinking about?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's gonna get, we're gonna be able to do so much work through the lens of pure accounting in
Mm,
like, with AI. And the way I kinda talk to this about our team is that, like, we now have the capability to
mhm,
get massively bigger as a company with the same group of people that we currently have working for us now. So,
mm,
prior to this world that we're walking into, you used to be able to say, as revenue grows, our people grow. And as revenue grows, we need more labor to produce that, deliver for the revenue. And
mm,
now we're at this, inflection point where as revenue grows, if our team is growth minded and wants to continue to improve, then we can do more with less people, which is a powerful thing, right? So then you have margins, you're able to like do more for your clients when you have better margin in your business. You're able to do more for your people that come to work for you when you have margin in your business. You just get more creative in the lens of business when you operate with margin. And that's honestly what we're trying to coach people on all the time, Sana, is that we're like, our goal is to help business owners become more profitable. And we do that through the lens of like, hey, we're optimizing what we have to do to produce financials accurately every single month. But then on the flip side, we're meeting with owners to say, what are your long-term goals? And we'll show you how that lines up to the lens of finance so that you're reaching these profit targets that you want to see in business and the whole reason you got into business to begin with. So trying to be that financial partner in their life to really coach them up to get to the next level. And once again, it's, you know, really there's no, we've lived in this world. And sorry, I'm going to get on, just kind of explain just a hair behind it, but we've lived in a world now with YouTube and the internet around for a long time that
mhm,
information's not new to anybody. Like, everybody really knows what to do to become more profitable. Everybody knows what to do to lose weight. Everybody knows what to do to, like, improve their life in some way. But the
yeah.
strength is found when you have somebody beside you through the accountability of actually getting you there, right? So the implementation of that is very important from a human to human level and not necessarily something that some machine's gonna force you to go do. Right, and so that's where I think the advisory side of our company goes, is that from the human to human element, we're gonna actually help you get to the next level in business because we can partner with you in that way and hold you accountable to go do so, and that's what we're focused on doing. In fact, Sana, I have an, I've built just a free gift to anybody that's potentially listening to this podcast, that if they're just curious how to set up their bank accounts to force profit, to essentially say, like, if I put my bank account set up in this correct way, then it's going to allow me to prioritize profit, prioritize tax that I'm going to have to pay at the end of the year. And I've created a whole PDF and video walkthrough on that. So that if anybody wants that that's listening, they can actually just go find me on Instagram. It's Austin D. McMillan. And then if you just direct message me the word profit, then I will send that PDF right over and it'll at least get a great foundation and starting block for you creating bank accounts to go force profit so you can start operating in a way that creates more margin in your life.
Awesome, awesome. So thank you so much, Austin, for this really, really nuanced conversation. I think the best part, what I can, and I believe our listeners could also extract is um, the tools we are building not to replace humans, but to support humans.
That's right.
That, that is something which I strongly believe in around AI adoption. And thank you so much for giving us a behind the scenes look at how Flywheel Financial is approaching AI in bookkeeping.
Yeah, you bet, son. I love having conversations like this, and I couldn't agree more. People are going to be around forever, and so it is just another tool that we get to leverage to make our lives even better and serve more people and have a greater impact that we're trying to have. And so, well, yeah, I'm super excited about the future. I'm glad you are as well.
Brilliant. Awesome. And to all the listeners out there on AIBiz, I hope this episode sparks some fresh thinking about how you can blend technology and human expertise in your own operations. And I'll make sure to mention all the links and the free gift and everything in the show notes for our listeners. And make sure to subscribe to AIBiz and share it with someone who's navigating the same questions. Until next time, this is your host, Sana. Thank you.